Welcome to the Shmoo Day streaming experience. I'm your host, as per usual, Shmoo Daddy. In case the first time you're watching the stream, the VOD of the video on YouTube, a monthly Hearthstone Wild Legend player who typically hits Legend first of the month, and after that I goof off. When I goof off, I play your decks, but I'm not doing that tonight. Tonight I'm doing another one of my deck guide videos in a series as we look through some of the best meta decks and how to play them. I am joined today by Filtrophobe. Filtrophobe, do you want to struggle in vain to differentiate yourself from other famous Australian wild players? Last time you got no less than 3 people asking if you were Corbett as you were explaining who the hell you were.
Chat. It's the best I can do. Yeah. Hi, my name is not Corbett. Sounds like Maxi or Filter Orb, depending on where you come from. My actual name is my actual Hearthstone handle is Filtrophobe. Yeah, and I was doing this a week ago for XL Call to Arms, and apparently people like me, so I'm back for Seedlock.
Well, I like you, and I consider you probably more proficient at Seedlock than me, considering that you are a former rank 1 Seedlock player.
Yeah, so Seedlock, I hit rank 1 with Seedlock early last month, and it was the first time I hit rank 1, so... yeah, this will always have a special place in my heart.
Okay, let's just start with, again, most people, if you're watching this video, you're probably aware with what Seedlock does, but we are trying to take damage on our turns with the benefit later of any damage that we are soaking up will eventually just be applied to the opponent's face. Let's start with just like sort of the basics of the deck construction. What would you consider to be the flex cards here? You said pretty much everything was core. You basically have a couple lists where you're swapping around 38 cards, and then it's 2 cards depending on what you feel like. So what are those 2 cards, and where are we at?
Yep. So let's take out Curse of Reform and Dirty Rat and start from there.
Okay.
Right, so in my opinion, this is the 38 card Seedlock list, and the last 2 cards are up to your choice, depending on how you're experiencing your own pocket meta. The cards that I will highlight that not everyone is doing that I am is double Plague of Flames and one of Employee of the Month.
Okay.
So I'd say those are the big, shall we say, deviations from the standard.
Okay.
A lot of people run 1 Employee of the Month, some people run 0, some people run 2, and a lot of people run 0 or 1 Plague of Flames, and I think 2 is absolutely core.
I will say, I did get, like, super tilted when I lost to a Call to Arms Paladin and cut the employee for, like, a Cataclysm or something like that, because I was just, like, I was way off the edge. I was like, I'm going to get rid of those White Lords, god damn it. And I was having a tough time, because I climbed with this list, basically, to Diamond 5 last month before I eventually would swap over to Odin Warrior. And I found it a little bit tough to get the employee down, but when you did, it was like, you slapped it on a giant. It was a massive, but it was hard to get there.
Yeah, so my perspective on Employee of the Month, it's an amazing card for the discard Warlock matchup, and if you happen to queue into a Shadow Priest or a Pirate Demon Hunter, slapping Employee of the Month on a Molten Giant is often game-winning.
Yeah.
And good enough to warrant its inclusion.
Along those lines, how close are we to cutting the Molten Giants? They can be tricky to get down at times, and we can talk about common mistakes after we do, like, you know, our basic mulligan stuff. But these can get tricky to come to get down. I remember us at one point, I know at 30 seeds, we were kind of cutting them, right?
Yeah, so at 30 seed, we were cutting Molten Giants, but now at 40 Seedlock, we are absolutely keeping Molten Giants. They are one of the best cards in the deck. If you look at the stats with Mulligan and Drawn win rate, they're very high up there. Molten Giant is better than Flesh Giant at the moment.
Worth mentioning, too, that we do have Renathal. So, like, we're starting with more health.
Yeah.
So getting this down to, like, getting down to 20 health, you're in less danger to get the Molten Giants down. All right, cool.
Yeah, it's trivial to get Molten Giants down even against things like Holy Wrath Paladin. Like, if you're playing against a deck that's not pressuring your face at all, you can still get them down quite easy.
Okay. All right, so what are our other flexes we can fit into these other 2 slots?
Yep, so I've got there's, shall we say, 3 variations of the build that I like. The first one is what we started with, is the Dirty Rat plus Curse of Reform. That is what I'd call the High Legend special, because at High Legend you play against a lot of very good hostage mages, and you need specifically both of those cards to win the matchup. A good hostage mage player will play around block tech, and the way to play around block tech is by managing a hand size of 10. The only way to get around that is by playing Dirty Rat.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're unlocking the opponent's hand and then slotting in a little Curse of Reform for their trouble.
Yeah, so that's the list that I hit rank 1 with. Dirty Rat plus Curse of Reform was very important to my rank 1 climb. I beat a lot of hostage mages by playing that as a 2-card combo.
All right. What are some other options if you want to slot in? Yep.
Yep. So next up, we've got this is what I'd use to climb if you weren't in high MMR brackets, which is adding a second Shadow Blade Slinger and a Cataclysm.
Ooh, I like that.
That is I don't need block tech to beat mage, and I'm playing around the board matchups that I'm concerned about. In particular, Cataclysm's the best card at answering an XL Call to Arms board. It's really good against Miracle Rogue. It's good against Questline Demon Hunter. There's a bunch of stuff that Cataclysm's good against. It's not good enough across the general meta to warrant it as a 2 of. And also, it does have a downside. Like, a lot of the time, you want to be playing Giants as your primary game plan.
Right.
And Cataclysm is counterintuitive to that. Cataclysm is an, oh crap, nothing's working, I need to play this. So it's a one-of for specific matchups, and it's just good for general ladder when you might find yourself behind on board.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. I know Sinferno is goofing around in chat a little bit and says, "Where's Apothecary?" I do not like the Apothecary build. I feel like the Apothecary build is like setting yourself up for. It's like a powerful gimmick when you make it work, but like you gotta stick Apothecary. Or you got to do like Apothecary and then Employee, and then you start like playing little shitter minions after that to kind of get as many Apothecary, just so that people see what I'm talking about. Just so that you get the as many Apothecary procs as possible. So the idea is like you give unlicensed Apothecary lifesteal, and then you start playing minions after that, and the 5 damage that you deal to your hero counts as a quest, but it's lifesteal, so you don't actually lose any net health. So you're just sort of making free progress. But I don't know. I always felt like I see these builds and I've tried these builds and I've played against these builds, and they always feel slower than just like doing the normal Seedlock things.
Yeah, they're not strict. So they are faster at quest completion and getting giant, but they're also more feast or famine. And in particular, they're also weaker into aggro. So if you play unlicensed Apothecary, you're playing against like a discard Warlock, if you don't have an Employee of the Month, you're basically losing the game on the spot. Because Unlicensed Apothecary is an unplayable card in that matchup if it's not being applied with lifesteal.
Yeah.
The flip side of that is if you do stick the Apothecary and you're playing against Reno decks, which admittedly we're already heavily favored into, the quest completion is so fast that you don't even give them a chance to get back in the matchup. So it's more feast or famine, in my opinion. It's not strictly a bad list. It's just feast or famine.
I just don't like. I think I don't like the. It feels like you're kind of screwing with. It feels like it might be like a higher MMR bracket type technology where you're kind of accepting that and you're seeing a little less aggro and you're kind of okay with just going in and as fast a combo as possible. To me, and I also see like playing unlicensed Apothecary, you want to run more like little minions, right? So I see more tour guides and stuff, and like I really don't.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of those minions. So
the other thing that I'll point you to is hover over the mana curve of this deck. It's the main reason why I don't like unlicensed Apothecary. Like this and you look at that 7+ slot.
Yeah,
that's all minions that cost 0.
Yeah. Yeah.
Part of why I like Seedlock is it's a control deck that's incredibly low curve to the ground, and I find that playing cards that cost more than 2 mana, like even the 2 mana cards get clunky, but playing anything that's more than that is really difficult to fit in. It's the main reason why I hate ETC and Seedlock.
Can we talk for a second about Rotten Apple? Because like when it's good, it's really good. I found a couple times on my climb, I'm like, I have 1 mana left over, but I don't have 2, right? And like what I almost want to do 1 Rotten Apple, 1 Dark Pact, and I wouldn't really have a tough time giving someone a hard time if they did do that. But like, you know what I mean? Like to your point, more is what I'm saying is like the 2 mana sometimes felt like it was a barrier to the card being useful.
Yeah, the big part about Rotten Apple is it's 3 ticks on Flesh
Yeah.
Giant, and importantly, it's unconditional healing and also damage post-quest completion. Dark Pact can run into some issues, because even though it is a 1 mana card, it does require you to have a minion on board, so it's technically a 2 mana card if you need it for healing in a pinch. So I do find... I do enjoy the Rotten Apple, and I do think it's a core inclusion in the deck as a 2-of these days.
Perfect. All right. Last things, not least, let's talk about Cursed Catacombs. I mean, we know Healthstone's disgusting. Like, I kind of want Healthstone deleted because this version of the deck is a lot safer and a lot slower. I mean, this is, I guess, this is the least offensive that Seedlock has ever been, really. Like, it completes the quest in a reasonable amount of time. Yes, it has, it ends the game, but like who cares? Like Hearthstone games should end. It's okay that it has inevitability. Healthstone just sort of like puts the training wheels on this deck, and there's no risk anymore. You can just take damage, and who cares? I do really want to talk though about the Cursed Catacombs. How have you found the nerf side grade buff to be, depending on your perspective?
Yeah, so I do think this is a nerf for Seedlock specifically.
Okay.
I don't think it's a major nerf though. I haven't played a lot of games post Catacombs nerf, but I've generally found that you wanted Cursed Catacombs to be hitting either Giants or Kobold, Librarian, Elemental Geode. So now you're just expanding those parameters to include mass production. Being able to grab a Healthstone or a Raised Dead is also a meaningful addition.
Yeah, maybe a
the wider pool means it's less consistent, and therefore I have to do more planning around it.
Yeah, I got you. I was using it for early horrors too. I would try to gamble on horror if I could. So let's start with this. Just basic mulligan. We don't have a whole lot of time. Like you've just dropped the code in a Discord, but you got to go, do work, or you got to leave the computer. What's your quick basic mulligan that I should be looking for?
Yep. Kobold Librarian, mass production, Elemental Geode. If you're playing against discard Warlock, you can keep Molten Giant.
Okay, so against discard Warlock, you're keeping Molten Giant. Okay, so now we're getting into a little bit more specific. So more specific mulligan, aggro, defile. This felt like the most important spell if I was playing against aggro.
Yeah, if you know you're playing against aggro, keep defile. If you know you're playing against XL Call to Arms, keep Spirit Bomb.
Okay. Thoughts on funny thing about this? Thoughts on configuration? I saw some people running that as almost like Spirit Bomb number 3 and number 4. I think specifically to target the XL Call to Arms Paladin matchup. Oh, I'm not even sharing my screen with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've got your stream on mute, so I'm following that.
You're still gonna I appreciate it. I'll work on that. Hold on.
Yeah. So my perspective on conflagrate. I'll figure out how to pronounce that shortly. Is that it's good in the 30 Seedlock Chattiest build, because you can use it to cycle through your deck in the Thaddeus pop-off turn. I don't particularly like the idea of using it in 40 Seedlock, because even though it does 5 damage to a minion, you're giving your opponent a card. And card advantage is a very real thing. It's why Research Project has always been a terrible card.
Gotcha. I don't even hate shooting my own minions with this, because it's cycle and you like getting stuff into the Raised Dead pool, right? Like it's not like the worst thing in the world if that's your
yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world, but if you're using it to remove your opponent's minion, it's not a good card.
Yeah, gotcha. Makes sense. Okay. All right. So any other specific mulligans? Is that basically, or that's basically it?
That's pretty much it. The biggest mistake that people make in the Mulligan is keeping Crystallizer. You should never keep Crystallizer.
Yeah, I was going to talk about common mistakes. All right, common mistakes. I don't keep Crystallizer. Why don't I keep Crystallizer?
So let's hover over Flesh Giant for a second. Let's explain this for the people who don't know. Flesh Giant has text that says costs 1 less for each time your hero's health has changed during your turns. Importantly, if you have armor up, your health does not change. So Crystallizer, while it gives you a tick of health reduction, it can theoretically slow down your Flesh Giant progression.
I find by
and that is
at least 2 turns, right? Like it feels like at least 2 turns in a lot of cases. You've got to peel off the armor, and there's not a lot of things that deal like. You know, you might get lucky and do like a spirit bomb and a tap, and now you've only wasted like 1 tick. But like, you know, I'll let you continue. But
at best case scenario, Crystallizer does not change the cost in Flesh Giant. On the usual case, it makes your Flesh Giant more expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. So we do not want the Crystallizer early. How do you feel about like keeping spirit? So okay, here's like a dream scenario. Dream scenarios, you have like Spirit Bomb, Crystallizer, and Double Imprisoned Horror. Even with that dream scenario, and I've done that and pursued this line before.
I'd keep that dream scenario, but that is only a dream scenario if the Spirit Bomb is playable.
And it's still slow, right? That's the thing. It's still slow. Like you can get the Imprisoned Horrors down, but like once if you're against aggro, maybe that's a good line. If you're trying to be the beatdown and you're trying to win with some tempo, your Flesh Giants are literally not coming down like for an additional 2 turns. So we're saying it here now about as loudly and clearly and slowly as possible. Do not play Crystallizer early. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The exception to the rule is if it gives you a Molten Giant. Like you can play Crystallizer if your Flesh Giants cost 5 if it lets you play a Molten Giant now. You can play Crystallizer if it lets you drop your Imprisoned Horrors down against a very fast matchup. But if you're playing against a slow matchup, you should not drop your Crystallizers until you're in a position where you can make your Flesh Giants cost 0 after playing the Crystallizer. So you can still heal after you've played the Crystallizer. That is a change of health. But you might have enough damage sources in your hands to neutralize the Crystallizer. But you should probably be playing your self-damage effects before you play the Crystallizer in those scenarios anyway.
Yeah, and if you see Crystallizer on 2, like somebody's fucking up. I feel like there are very few lines where we're not like tapping or playing like Elemental Geode on 2, and then kind of making, at least that's from my pattern of play, by my experience, and then kind of making it up as we go along from there.
If the other thing that I will say, if you have a 1-drop like Mass Production or Kobold Librarian, and you have nothing else to do with your mana on turn 2, it is better to just tap.
Yeah.
That way you have a turn 3 sorted.
Well, and I was going to ask you this too, now that we brought up the early mass productions. How early is too early for mass productions? Because I think there are a lot of other cards we want before we start really ramping these up. It doesn't seem like an ideal scenario to be ripping these too early.
I disagree. I think it's never too early.
Okay.
You should be ripping your mass productions as early as possible because you actually, when you have Tamsin online, you want the critical mass of mass productions already established.
Okay.
If you delay your mass production cycling for after you have Tamsin, your Tamsin turns will brick.
Okay. How do you feel about Finley and Solarium as a keep? Or is that like another one of those like dream scenarios, like maybe this is worth it, or is it just not?
Finley Solarium is +1 card in hand. I wouldn't keep it.
Okay. All right.
It's the same resources as tapping.
Any other sneaky interactions we should know about before we hop into a little bit of gameplay?
No specific interactions. The one thing I will say is sometimes it's okay to Spirit Bomb or Defile when you have a Geode on board.
That makes sense to me because you just want to get the benefit of the quest proc while also getting the card draw. Yeah, I shoot my own minions all the time.
Yeah, and the other one that I'll raise, which is a specific for the hostage mage matchup, your giants are actually a liability into hostage mage. The way you lose that game is if they armor alibi, and the best way for them to armor is to gain 8 armor off your giants.
I did know that. I feel like for the hostage mage matchup specifically, you almost completely forget about board as far as tempo, and you're just like trying to cook through the quest as fast as possible.
Yeah, it's really good to have a lot of 2 or 3. It's like Imprisoned Horrors are really good to have against Hostage Mage. It's really good to have your 2 damage and your 1 attack minion stick because every instance of 1 against a Soul Alibi becomes 1. So if you have 7 1 attack minions on board, you're doing as much damage to them as 7 giants. And then you're still doing damage over the tops of mass production. Like that chip damage is genuinely meaningful in the Hostage Mage. But the 8 attack giants, I often plague of. So the second I play my Tamsin against Hostage Mage, I'm often dropping my Flesh Giant simultaneously and then Plague of Flamesing my own board.
All right. So if there's no other like sneaky interactions that we can sort of take advantage of, I mean, I think Crystallizers, more to the point, they're really good post quest because it's like a pyroblast. Like you gain 5 health and the opponent is going to lose 5 health, and like it doesn't hurt you, and you can still
and they're really good with Health Stone against aggro.
Health Stone against aggro, absolutely right. Do we want to hit the ladder with this list specifically, since we're a little bit lower down? We're at like rank 1K.
Yeah, I suspect we'll be able to beat a Hostage Mage at this MMR without Dirty Rat.
Okay. All right. Let's give it a shot.
Let's give it a go. Oh, and the third variation that is I just keep queuing aggro. There's Shadow Priest bots everywhere. Instead of Second Slinger Cataclysm, we're just going to run Double Hellfire.
Double Hellfire. Okay, Double Hellfire is an interesting one.
I just noticed you were share screening, so I'll actually watch that.
Yeah, that's going to be just better. Yeah. Sorry. All right. Toss the Giants. It's Druid.
Yeah.
Keep
Druid should be a rough matchup unless it's Reno Druid.
Right. So it's worth noticing. It's worth noting that like you're kind of, by cutting the rat, you are sort of seceding all wins versus any kind of combo that kills from hand. At the same time, your odds of winning that matchup are bad anyway. Mass production, or we'll do that instead. My bad.
Yeah. Cool. Drop the fleshy. Mass production, probably heal. Unless we draw Health Stone, then we're going to play Crystallizer.
I'm going to choose to heal. And I'm going to hope that it's good enough. Killing...
Rat can miss.
If we have Rat... Okay, so to counterpoint, though, this deck doesn't run copies of... doesn't run 2 copies of Oracle of Elune. So you could hit Oracle of Elune. You know they have the... You know they have the boar in the hand with them.
Oh yeah, we're absolutely dead here. Cool.
Yeah, cool.
All right. I've never seen that deck pop off before.
Oh yeah. No, nice. I knew we were screwed once they started like drawing a lot of cards.
Yeah. But like they did just have the nuts hand. And even if we were running Rat, like
Rat was either Cataclysm. Rat was either Cataclysm or a Slinger, and we didn't see any of those cards.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the best way to beat the combo decks is just to get the Giants down on turn 5 and say, do you have it? Because Rat actually misses against a bunch of the combo decks anyway.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, it doesn't always help. I know it doesn't help all the time versus Mally, for sure.
Yeah. And Mally's the one that I'm most concerned about, personally.
Okay, opponent's on Spice.
Oh, hold on a second.
Opponent's...
This is definitely a Reno Shaman.
Opponent's on Trash. Got it.
Full mull.
Yeah.
Bad players keep Crystallizer. We don't keep Crystallizer.
Yeah, we don't keep Crystallizer. But
right, we do need to consider. We do need to consider actually not spending our mana this game, because the anomaly is giving us a free.
I mean, I like Demon Seed coin pass, right? Like.
So do I. Let's just see what we draw first. Because if we draw mass production, we're playing mass production with the coin. Yeah, that's Demon Seed coin.
And just, yay! If they play a minion, we spirit bomb it, and then we pass. Oh, opponent's gone spice.
Right, we're here for content.
We're here for content. Mass production?
Yeah, mass production pass.
Pass.
Insane top deck. Yeah, definitely pass. Geode's looking good next turn.
Oh man. Someone tell Linny. Yeah, she does love her tendies. She does love the tendies. All right. Geode, because I've heard no changes to the otherwise.
Yeah. Playing Geode, and then we're going to reflect based on our top deck because we are actually near full hand size and may not want to. Yeah, so we are going to we're going to mill a card if we float. I just kind of want to Shadow Blade the 1/1 just for some tempo.
Okay. Fine with me.
Like we can save the Spirit Bomb for a bigger health stone.
All right.
Oh hell yeah!
Burb. I like.
Do
we ever swing first, or are we spirit bombing our shit
let's
first?
start by send the 2/1 to face first. The Shadowblade Slinger. That way we play around freezing trap optimally.
It's like which one?
Yeah. I think. Yeah. Let's Shadow Bomb the 3/3. See what happens.
I guess. Pressure plate. I already know her.
Oh hell yeah! That was the best outcome.
We actually.
Let's kobold.
Yeah.
Yep, that's fine. Don't think we can play the fleshy this turn. We can. We can play the fleshy this turn.
Okay.
Let's Spirit Bomb our kobold, then raise dead.
Yeah, I think with the health stone we get there, right?
Yeah. Now we're going to Crystallizer and Health Stone.
Amazing. Maximizing. And we actually, like, I don't know if that was intentional. Did you intend to, like, maximize the quest line there, or are you just prioritizing get Flesh Giant down?
I was just prioritizing getting Flesh Giant to 0. That was a happy coincidence.
That was disgusting. So that's an interesting take on the philosophy then. Just like we care. This is a giant deck first and foremost. This is not like a questline completion deck.
Yeah, that is correct. You win most of your matchups by giants. Okay, we're starting with mass production as always.
All right.
That was a really good card to start with. We haven't triggered any secrets via trading, so I think we just send everything face at this point. But yeah, next mass prod. Keep moving on.
Keep on swimming. Keep on swimming.
Hell yeah, Flesh Giant. Let's be mindful of our quest completion. We don't want to go into 12 out of 12. So Geode Librarian should be fine here. Let's start with the Librarian.
Okay.
Because it costs the less mana.
Geode.
And now we'll just finish up with the Geode. Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Cool.
Worst comes to worst, I don't
that.
even hate soul freezing my own shit if my shit is still here.
Yeah. Yeah. We're happy to do whatever it takes to get Tamsin down next turn.
I ain't talking. They should trade into the
Damn,
Geode.
what we'll do without that
should
broomstick.
trade into the Geode. They're smart.
Yeah.
So we haven't triggered any stuff yet, but we're gonna find out right now, I guess.
Yeah. So they're sending the giant there. We're just wasting damage.
Sending the giant?
Yeah, because we can't. The giant's not going to be able to hit face based on our trades.
Right.
Yeah. Because there's no like.
Are you good with me
down or
doing
anything
this
like
now?
that.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're going to freeze and drop Tamsin and then send everything face.
I'm gonna health stone too. I think. It's like I'm not getting any.
I think we might just want to hold it for the tradable at this point.
You want to hold it for the tradable?
We don't need. It's only 2 health. We don't need it.
Okay.
Like we've got double Rotten Apple in hand. We don't need the healing. It's just better to get a tradable so we can get some better cards if something weird happens. Like they are playing tendies.
It's Reno Tendi Shaman. It's an interesting one. We just have lethal with rotten apple, soul freeze our own shit. I believe.
We won't have
any healing.
I suspect a brawl's coming. But yeah, this game's over. It's just a matter of how long it takes to finish it.
Yeah, I was banking on Frost Nova, honestly. I feel like Nova's a popular choice. Okay, Ruin is fine. It's got to be better than that though. If they're gonna. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Double apple. Oh wait, no, that's a freeze. So we get them to 9.
That's a Finley. Like.
Yeah, let's Finley. Finley's lethal.
Finley's always lethal.
I mean,
Finley into infinite mass
Apple's soul
production.
freeze is also lethal, but it's fine.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
And this is the main reason we play Finley. The main reason we play Finley is because we're shuffling all these mass productions into our deck, and they're not in our hand. After we Finley, we're very likely to find multiple mass productions.
Totally worth it. Totally worth it. Which again, in the hostage mage matchup, the amount of times I was like precursing into Finley into finding the mass productions for lethal, like you just take that leap, like you just do it if you're running the
Yeah.
if you're running the curse.
My hand properly.
Hey, look, we got an early Crystallizer. Stephen H. I feel like I know this person is a Miracle Rogue, or maybe they used to be.
Yep.
Maybe they used to. They used to be Pirate Rogue enthusiasts. I don't know. All right, I'm just gonna go with just.
I don't know him.
Full mill.
Yeah, that's a toss.
Yeah. I'm sometimes.
It's not geode. It's not mass prod. It's not kobold.
I sometimes
and
bait
there's no reason to
myself
keep
into
one of the other
keeping
cards.
one drops and being like, oh, you'll draw Plague of Flames if I think it's Miracle Rogue. But like, it's so stupid.
That'll happen naturally. There's so many 1-drops in the deck.
Yeah. No, I know it's wrong, but at the same time, like if it's like day one, you've been playing hundreds of games, you're just tilting.
Yeah, probably Miracle.
Might be Miracle. If it's a turn 1 gear shift, we love that. If it's not Miracle and it's Quasar, we don't love that.
Yeah, all right, what's happened?
Hey, Geode, our friend.
Nice, we drew Geode.
I like Geode so much more than Tour Guide. Oh my god.
Yeah, so next turn might be Geode, Crystallizer, Imprisoned Horror. Depending on what we think this is. If this is Quasar, I think we just drop the Crystallizer for the Imprisoned Horror. Oh, we've got a Flesh Giant now.
Are we tempoing Broom? I think we have to do this on, right?
Yeah, I think we have to. We just need to create the pressure.
I don't like it.
It's really because Crystallizer, like as we've already talked about, it's bad for our Flesh Giant. It's neutral for our Molten. But getting the 4/4 right now against the combo.
At least we get to demonstrate this. Why this is such a bad play, though. Like we're gonna tap and this is gonna stay 7. It just feels fucking bad.
Bone Spike must be 7s.
It looks like it's looks like 7s. Okay.
Okay, so let's start with the tap.
These breakpoints all suck unless we're gonna soul freeze, I think.
I don't think we're gonna soul freeze this turn
because it's too important later.
Because we want to save the soul freeze for when they drop the 8/8s. I think we're going to.
So ugly.
It really is.
Are we just
They
gonna?
don't run Shadow Step, do they? I think we just Spirit Bomb the 2/4 and go face. Because they don't run Shadow Step, so there's no reason to kill the Trickster.
Okay.
And we're going to hold, because next turn we should be able to drop multiple Giants with Brooms.
Cool. I can't believe people are still playing 777s, Miracle, but maybe people just like
Miracle, but high rolly.
Yeah, people just like
it's like the unlicensed apothecary of Miracle Rogue builds.
Especially after toy. I don't like it after they nerfed the toy chest giant, the toy giant, whatever it was called. Playhouse giant.
Oh, Playhouse giant. Yeah.
I think that was the appeal to the deck, was the idea that you're able to
start with a tap.
Yeah. You had so many targets.
I think we're trading the Healthstone.
Trading the Healthstone? Okay.
Our hand is really bad. Yeah, we're gonna rep that and hope we find card draw.
Find a new one.
I know I said our hand was bad, but it's got 2 giants in it. And it's got like good answer.
I would insta rip it. I would insta rip it without hesitation.
Yeah, I think we're taking Finley.
Yeah.
I just want to talk over it. It's sad that we're going to be shuffling 2 giants at the bottom of our deck.
It is. But I think we could also get more giants.
If we play a single mass production, we shuffle the deck order.
Yep. I mean, I do find that very attractive about this deck, is the fact that like Finley doesn't mean that it's
wait.
Like,
we're probably playing mass production, but let's just wait to see what happens. Yeah, mass production and geode. Sorry, not geode. Imprisoned horror.
Okay, I'm dropping it.
And that is a and face with the 1/3.
Okay.
They're going to struggle very much to develop into this.
Especially because of the Cataclysm. Like, they're going to have...
Yeah, Cataclysm, Double Plague of Flames, and Sulfur. Wow, they got both.
They're going to mill a card.
Therefore, they lose the game.
True. What's going on, Crease?
Want to see a Giant or a Shaladra
Oh,
sweet.
Didn't want to mill that.
No.
Did not want to mill that.
But everything must go, Schmoopy.
Not everything must go. It's nutty.
Yeah, they can't attack.
Chad, it's looking at me funny.
Prep breakdance. All right, so
okay.
Is this a Cataclysm? So they've milled 1 giant. They've got 1 giant in hand. I think with our Plague of Flames, we can afford to Cataclysm this board. But we might want to raise dead first.
I want to raise dead first.
Yeah.
There's no better way. It's not like they're gonna. It's not like they're going to.
Yeah. This is the widest their board's going to get.
Yeah.
Every other board from here is going to be much more narrow. We should be able to answer everything from here with Soul Freeze.
I'm good with it. I was
so
going to say, we never get cheeky and like Soul Freeze this section and then make them just attack with this section. It's not like they can build into it anymore, so we might as well just rip this.
Yeah. It's not cost, like we don't actually have the tools necessary to push through. Like if we wanted to develop giants that turn because we had a giant in hand, we wouldn't Cataclysm and then we would Soul Freeze the left side. But because our hand isn't really doing anything, we just do that.
I'm not crystallizing, right? We want fuel for the Plague of Flames.
They've got a second breakdance they haven't played. Let's save it. Unless this is the red at Sevens Rogue. The round 1 of breakdance for some reason. Oh no, but that ran the
They could have less resources. They've already used their... they've used 1 Shadow of Demise. I don't know how they've used 1 Shadow of Demise.
They've used Shadow of Demise for Everything Must Go.
Yes. Okay. Yep. You're right.
They played 3 Everything Must Go.
I did not like it. I didn't like Everything Must Go when it came out and we tried this style of deck. Holy Cutlass! I'm gonna vomit. I was gonna say the breakdance is awkward here. I would very much like 1 more minion.
If they just sit on this, we're happy to Soul Freeze it and just keep developing. We're gonna rip that Solarium without thinking.
Like, let's find better options, right? We have our 1 more minion. We could just erase them and thus erase them from the game.
All right. Let's.
Fleshy.
Yeah. So.
1, 2, 3, rip, and Fleshy gets down.
What's our quest completion?
I'm sorry? We're 4 away.
What's our quest at? Yeah, so that does complete. We can drop Fleshy. Yep, let's do that. Minor Order Lol.
Minor Order Lol, we could have kept the Crystallizer, right?
Yep. But it's not going to matter. So yeah, Plague of Flames, our Flesh Giants 0.
Stupid. It's okay. And there we go. I don't see how they win from here.
They might Yeah, if they're running Zephyrus, they could win from here because we're out of resources, and a Jiraxis could take them over if we just keep drawing bad stuff. But we do have a Finley to get out of that. Giants, like... Geode mass prod?
I think we mill either way.
Oh wait, no, we're still at 10. Yeah, let's just mill.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Not the flesh giant. How do you feel about health stoning in Finley and see what we get?
That sounds good.
Not that we need like any more anything, really. Well, you know what? The healthstone actually kind of.
Yeah, we're gonna play the second healthstone because like they are playing a deck that can. Yes, it can break during the combo turn. So we've set up lethal.
Yeah.
We've already set up lethal. We just want to maximize our health.
Okay, so they need Quasar right now. I think they just found it.
I think that was Trickster, judging by the snap trick.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, one of the two. Oh, and they get a Cult snap. That's cute.
Health. We want to get the second Molten Giant down. Was the thinking there? I also was thinking about maybe it was worth it. Honestly, though, with this draw specifically, we applied more pressure getting the Molten Giant down, and we were dead anyway with this. They should not break from this point on. They got their spell damage early.
They're doing a 48 damage turn.
Yeah,
so.
we were fucking dead.
This is literally, do they just rope out because they brick? That's what we're playing for here.
The answer's no, by the way. Okay, yeah, no, they're dead because they swing. I'm not playing through I'm not sitting through the animations. All right, so.
Yeah, so that's also a matchup. Like that's a combo matchup where the rat doesn't.
Doesn't like maybe you hit the trickster early, like maybe, but there are other minions.
The trickster doesn't.
Excuse me.
Like they're running two of it.
Yeah.
Of both tricksters, they're running two of.
Yeah.
They can kill us from hand with one source of spell damage. And they've got a bunch of draw and discover effects, and they have a lot of minions in their hand, so we're not even likely for the dirty rat to hit the out. Like rat technically gives us an out, but I still think the best way to approach combo matchups like this is turning around and saying, I'm going to play my giants. Do you actually have combo?
Right.
Because the odds of the rat working are less than the brick it causes by putting a rat in your deck. So if you put a rat in your deck, you're not spending mana to play your giants. So even if you do rat them, if your rat misses, you're screwed. If your rat slows them down, you've already slowed yourself down, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
rat delays you by a turn.
It's not really. I'm seeing how it's not really worth it, and this is just your natural enemy. Like your natural enemy is going to be combo kill from hand decks, and that's okay, right? You're not typically going to be seeing these decks over and over and over again. I'm a little disappointed we didn't see a disco lock. So that you could just or a Shadow Priest just to prove how well you end up doing into aggro, because this is really a control deck at its heart. But if you're seeing mostly aggro, or you're seeing slot piles, that is what makes this deck so good right now. Is you really do clean up your slow matchups and you clean up your aggro matchups, and sometimes you out pressure the combo stuff. And it's also good in a quest mage because of the mass productions causing basically infinite damage to your opponent and making them have the tools to stave you off. To sign off, Filtrophobe, where can we find you?
Yeah. You can find me in Random Wild Discords, mainly Schmoopy Cord, and occasionally I'm in Discord.
You are, but
apart from that, I stream occasionally. I did stream, was it 2 days ago? That was fun. I won some games with XL CTA. Then I won a game with QUESTLINE Demon Hunter, and then Douge, I don't know how to pronounce them, I keep forgetting, convinced me to play Mill Druid, and I lost all my progress.
Oh no.
So that was a good stream, and I had fun there. But
we can blame Sinferno together.
Yeah.
Along with other people now. All right. And if you enjoy this content, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing on my YouTube channel. And I will make sure that Filtrophobe's link is in the description as well. All right. Filtro, thanks for coming on, man.
And thanks for having me on, Dad. I'll see you in chat.
All right. Ancient schmoopy lore. Dumb shit I was doing before I was engaged with the populace. Okay, let's raid NZ2. NZT has switched to off of cringe Warlock and is playing other things. All right, I should be back doing more Hearthstone-related content. I'm not sure what I'm doing tomorrow yet. I guess more viewer decks, maybe more Copper Rogue. I don't know. Have a good night. Dreaming at the sun. Bye, YouTube peoples.